Hey everybody, I've got a tutorial for you on how to make a magnetized movement tray for Warhammer Fantasy. This is the way, at least one of the ways. I mean, there's any way you can do it, but this is the way I've been doing it, and it's worked out really well for me. So first, we're going to need a movement tray. This just happens to be a GW movement tray, but you don't have to use anything in particular. Just about anything that's flat and strong will do the job. And what we're going to use to magnetize this is a galvanized roofing tile. I picked this up at Home Depot. I think this thing cost me like 89 cents or 95 cents, something like that. So, but this is what we're going to be using for the metal. Then we're going to use, some tin snips to trim it to size. And these might leave a rough edge depending on what kind you use, so you might have to get pliers or a hammer to kind of flatten it back down after it's trimmed. Of course, super glue. Get super glue. And a good number of clamping devices. So, and of course, when you're using a metal tray like that, you're going to need some magnets. So let's talk about magnets real quick. So here's my personal favorite for buying magnets, and it's K&J Magnetics. Now, there's a lot of good places to buy magnets, but the reason why I go here when I'm doing moving trays is because they have a surplus section. And the nice thing about when you're doing movement trays is you don't have to worry about the size. I mean, it can be pretty much any size or shape as long as it fits under the base. And generally speaking, about 2.5 millimeters is about as thick as it is to fit underneath one of these GW movement trays. So there's a lot of good options here. Here's the ones I bought: 3 millimeter by 1.5 millimeter, pack of 100 for $7. I bought 300 of these a long time ago. Oh, and you get 10% off that, so it's only $6.30 for 100 magnets. And so for 20 bucks plus shipping, you get 300 little magnets. Which those 300 magnets, I did my entire Orcs Goblins army so far, and I still have some left over. So that's really a good way to get the magnets you need for movement trays. Because I said size doesn't matter, which direction they're pointing doesn't matter. Just something on there is all you need. So that's why I prefer K&J Magnetics for this particular project, and their shipping is really, really reasonable. Okay, so here we go, back to the table. The first step, of course, is going to be to trim this to size. Now, this is a 6x6 25 millimeter movement tray for my Savage Orcs, but these GW trays are a little bit bigger than straight up size they would be, so they're more than 6 inches on a side. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a Sharpie here, without disturbing the camera too bad. Mark it there. There. Let it glare off the. Take a little Mr. Triangle, Mr. Square here. Okay. Metal shears. Oh, this glare is horrible. Sorry about that. So this has produced some sharp edges, so you do have to be careful when you're working with it. Actually turned out pretty flat, not too bad. Make sure it fits. Oops. Yeah, it doesn't quite fit, so I'm going to have to trim it down a little bit. So I'm going to I have to trim this down a little bit and then flatten it out, and I'll be right back. Okay, so now first all I did was I trimmed it out, and then I took a pair of pliers and just kind of flattened out any spots that weren't quite even, mainly around the corners. So now it's the fun stage. We concentrate significantly on this. Super glue around the corners. It actually takes, don't be afraid to put some super glue on it. Of course, when using this much super glue, we do need to be in a well ventilated area. So things will be quite nasty. Smell already. Okay. I'm going to clamp down the corners here. Towards the middle more. Not as much as I would like. There we go. So now I'm going to set that aside to dry completely before you futz with it. So, depending on the magnets you get, there's some things you have to deal with. So basically, just one of these little magnets will hold up a normal trooper just fine. If you get something bigger, like say the standard bearer, don't be afraid to put just more magnets. I got 3 on this one, and it'll actually hold it up quite well. Of course, the problems you get with these cavalry bases that have these bars, and you have to do some drilling or knife, or just simply cut out some gaps for the magnets to fit in there. Again, direction doesn't matter, neatness doesn't matter. They're just holding these to a piece of metal. There's another one like that. So that's really all there is to it. Let's see. Let's just stick on. Of course, the more magnets you put on there, better the holding force. Each one, or the bigger the magnets, get bigger ones. Yeah, there you go. On magnetized movement tray for Warhammer Fantasy. Thanks for watching.